Check, check.
Whenever you guys are ready, we'll start.
So, I don't know how all this works. Do I make an opening statement or do I just wait? We'll just start with questions. Perfect, because we role play a lot with our team, and we do this kind of as fun. And so this is the first time, obviously, I've had to do it officially. So I'm new to all this, but comfortable in this setting. So have at it. You can ask questions away.
Just to start out, Coach Norman, Kylie Shook didn't play tonight. What's going on with her?
Yeah, she kind of tweaked her knee a little bit and shoot around, and she just didn't feel she could have played if we felt like she needed to, but trying to get her an extra couple days of rest. And she's kind of been having this nagging knee pain all year long and just sort of playing through it, but just didn't feel like it was necessary to push the envelope tonight. So we'll continue to rehab, and she'll be available in our next ball game.
Your team certainly won in different ways, but when the opposing team essentially says we're going to run, and is that music to your team's ears? It seemed like.
Well, the great thing is we try to build our team based on diversity in terms of position play and the skill set. And so we knew that this team was going to press the entire game. And really, the style that they play, I don't want to say they don't care about giving up layups, because that's not really the truth in it, but they care more about how they're playing and trying to create chaos and turnovers. And so they're not going to change that style no matter who they play. And so we had a great first half, and the kids did a remarkable job of really slowing things down, pass faking, getting it to the middle, attacking, and we got a lot of easy baskets from that. The third quarter wasn't so great, but again, we've got a lot of different kids in there playing, and just had some turnovers that I was just really proud of them in the first half. To only have one turnover is really remarkable. We just got to clean some things up from the third quarter action, but overall, they're a team that plays with a pace, and if you want to run, we'd love to run. If you want to slow things down, we've been working on half-court execution as well, so I feel like we are strong in that aspect too. So whatever the other team presents itself, we try to have enough weapons in our arsenal to be able to play that style and do well under those circumstances.
What was it like to have Coach Wall so subdued tonight, and what was the reasoning behind that?
Well, as you all know, he's not going to be able to coach in the first round of the NCAA tournament. This was my scout, and so he kind of just threw it at me at the last minute. I've actually was sick the last 2 days of practice, haven't been here. I actually went to the hospital and really, really sick, and just got out last night. So I did not know this was coming, and so it got thrown at me, and I was like, well, no time like the present. Let's go. I mean, honestly, we've all done it a long time, and besides having to stand up on occasion and maybe call a timeout, but I was checking with him with substitutions and make sure we're getting the kids in to play as much as we could. But it was really fun. I did both pregame speeches that we do. He just kind of stood out in the hall, and I think it was smart on his behalf that we didn't do this cold turkey. So 20 games from now, hopefully we're in the NCAA tournament and hosting, and that myself and the rest of my cohorts, they did a remarkable job. We each have pieces that we contribute. So all of us really were kind of collectively doing this. I may be the one that is out here speaking, but we all are playing a part in it, and we all have positions that we coach, and so we all gave input. So I think really it's a collective group effort of our whole staff to be able to pull this off.
Jazz with 6 assists tonight. She's really just been working this year gangbusters on that all-around game, hasn't she?
Jazz has a lot of talent, and sometimes it doesn't rise to the surface in certain games, and she kind of coasts a little bit. But we have really been challenging her because she's a difference maker, and she brings so much energy, and she's such a beautiful person inside and out in terms of how she can get our team going. And so if she can get going, we're going to be really dangerous. If she can be an added weapon to distributing the ball, rebounding the ball, and obviously scoring. So she's kind of what I think is the X factor. We kind of go as Jazz goes, and so I was really happy to see that stat line improve. And if Kylie was playing, she would have done some things too. So it's just neat to see some different kids doing different things. When Asia had like her 8 assists that night, that's really cool to me to see that these kids are improving in different aspects of their game.
with these past 2 games, being blowouts, scoring 100 points. I mean, obviously they weren't looking past the competition. How do you see the importance of that with Kentucky coming up on Sunday in terms of their focus?
Yeah, we talked about it kind of all week. You'd be lying if any athlete and you tell them, okay, focus on this game and this game only. They know what's coming. Okay, so, but what we challenged them is this week with these 2 opponents was to focus on us, because there were certain aspects of our team that we wanted to improve, irregardless of what the other team was going to do to us. And it was great because Kentucky's going to trap similar to this team is. So it really lends itself to preparing us. But this whole week has really been about us and not our opponents. And to be honest, we kind of needed this little week because we have been really having some extreme, very difficult road games with that 5-game stretch and grinding things out. It's nice to get some kids in to get film on, of what they can do better. So this week was perfect for us to work ourselves into what's coming this weekend.
What kind of difficulties is there? Interesting substitution pattern create for you all this evening?
Yeah, no, Tennessee State did a lot of that too. They have a bench, and it's just a style of play. They play a lot of players. And honestly, there was about 3 kids I couldn't even fit on the scouting report because they play everybody on their roster. So you kind of just have to pick and choose, and you have to identify, okay, these are the 3 best 3-point shooters, the rest of them, because you can't memorize possibly that many people of their strengths and weaknesses. So you really have to talk about this team as a collective group rather than individual scout. It's a little bit different than normal scouts because they don't have, I wouldn't say they have a go-to player or someone that they're running plays for. It's very obvious for us, example, who we're running plays for or what we're looking for in different sets. For them, it's a collective group effort, and they're trying to wear opponents out. So when they get into their conference play, it'll be very difficult for their opponents to sustain because they can just run these kids in and out, and so they can really play that fast style, and that suits them well for their conference. But for us, obviously with these last 2 games, we just tried to focus on us, get some kids some confidence, get some kids some playing time, and really kind of like, in the last 2 games, Kylie does great. Bianca has back-to-back great games. Just getting some confidence in some kids to execute properly, to work on some half-court sets. We couldn't really do that tonight, but against Tennessee State we could. So these games lend themselves to a lot of good things as a coach because you have film to watch with kids and talk about pluses and minuses.
Talk about that 4th quarter where both teams scored 23 points, but you got kind of the end of the bench down there. They got some good minutes in.
They did, and like I said, these are productive minutes for all of our kids because then it allows us to really coach them. If they don't ever get meaningful minutes that we can break down film and talk about this is how you can get better, it's just really difficult because you don't have a starting point to go from and then something to evaluate moving forward, like, oh yeah, you improved on jumping to the ball, oh yeah, you improved on blocking out. This way we can talk about those things. So yeah, we didn't do such a great job at blocking out and those sort of things, but I do appreciate these kind of games to get kids meaningful minutes and getting things to work with so we can improve those kids so that they can get more minutes.
What was going on with the kind of interesting timeout scenario at the end of the game there?
Oh, he was just coaching his team. He does he's a really good coach, and we all as coaches appreciate that. They were trying to set up, an out of bounds play for a last second shot. So he's just working on his game. We were working on ours because we ran a 3-2 zone in the second half, and that's normally not what we do, but we're trying different things. In a game like this is a perfect opportunity for coaches to just try different things that you normally might not do. So I think that's probably a good indication of a good coach. He just didn't let it run out, and he wanted to try to execute something at the half court in the last second. So kudos to them.
Anything else for Coach Norman?
All right, great. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Coach Norman.
Great job, Coach Norman.
Bravo.
Leaving everything.
Author.
Doing it. Debut. Go ahead.